Okay, Kilayim Perek Aleph Mishnah Zayin. So until now we've been learning about the different plants that are able to be mixed together, are not able to be mixed together, what is considered the same species, and what's considered Kilayim, different species for the purposes of Kilayim. So now our Mishnah is going to talk about what about trees with plants and plants with trees. Says the Mishnah, Ein Mevi'in, and here the Bartanura says, we're talking about Markivin Hakava, which is grafting. Grafting means you make a little hole. I have never actually done it, but then you attach a branch from one species to the plant of another. And it's an effective, very effective way of getting trees to grow from one another. If I have a strong tree and a weak tree, as we're going to see, the weak tree is not doing so well, so I graft it onto the strong tree, and that'll make it even stronger. That'll make it be able to be productive. It's a very useful technique, apparently, for farmers, because the Mishnah talks about it all the time. So it says the Mishnah, Ein mevi'in ilan be'ilan. So I can't graft a tree with a tree, okay, meaning one species of fruit tree with another. Yarak be'yarak. Or, I guess either grafting or planting together, one plant with another, okay? Velo ilan be'yarak. I can't graft a tree, take a little branch onto my cob, my corn stalk. Velo yarak be'ilan. I can't take a corn stalk and graft it onto my tree. So says the Bartanura, Ein markivin ilan ma'achal be'ilan ma'achal. What we're talking about here is, he explains fruit trees. Min b'she'eno mino, of different species. Or, he says, ilan srak be'ilan ma'achal. I want to take my oak branch and graft it to an apple tree. Aval, he adds something interesting. Ilan srak be'ilan srak. But an ilan srak means a non-fruit producing tree, but ilan srak is interesting. If I want to take an oak and put it on a maple or a pine, kevan she'em shum echad mim oseh pri, since neither of them actually make fruit, kemin echad chashuv v'sharei. They're all considered one min. They're considered one species. So all of non-fruit producing trees are all considered one species for the purpose of Kilayim. And you'll notice that now we've been only talking about fruit trees. We've only been talking about trees that produce, and those are all the examples that the Mishnah gave: quince, apple, crabapple, etc., etc. Rabbi Yehuda matir yarak be'ilan. Rabbi Yehuda says you're permitted to graft on my corn, whatever, my corn stalk onto the tree so that it could nourish it from it. I don't know why I do it, but whatever. Why? So the Kati explains that Rabbi Yehuda says that the only time it's prohibited to graft two things together is when they're going to produce a different fruit. Okay, but when you graft something, when you graft a vegetable onto a tree, onto a fruit tree, or a tree onto a vegetable, it's not going to create a min chadash. Okay, if I take an apple and put it on a lemon, I'm going to get a lapple. I'm going to get a lapple or a lepple or whatever. I'm going to get something different, and that's what they do. How do they get nectarines? They took a peach and made it with a I don't know what they did it with, a peach and a plum. Who knows how they made nectarines? Okay, and they produced something different. So that's usher, that's our kava, that's prohibited. But if I put a yarak, if I put my corn, I'm not going to get a corn apple. I'm going to get corn that's going to nourish, going to get some of its nutrients from the tree. Okay, and that's not prohibited. Whereas Chachamim said, no, Chachamim say, as long as two species are yonkim, they are sustaining, they're drawing sustenance, nutrients, one from another, that's an Isur Kilayim. So the Chachamim disagreed and prohibited yarak be'ilan and yarak ilan be'yarak, and the halacha follows the opinion of the Chachamim. If you have any comments or questions, rspolter@gmail.com. And as always, we dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.